Hi. So, now in continuation with our demo on Azure, so we will be showing a live demo on Azure system with a free login. So, the idea is, as I mentioned, that so that you can also have a feel of a commercial cloud, how it works, etc. So, the application what we are going to demonstrate here and will be a very simple Python web app, but the idea is that how you can develop your other this sort of apps or other apps in Azure, right. So, with me Subhobroto is there.
Hello.
So, Subhobroto will be showing a live demo on the on his system, so that you can follow the step. Though there are different variant of doing that, but this is one of the standard step, one of the standard procedure to look at the to run any Azure app. So, I will give request Subhobroto to start that
Yes.
demo.
Sure.
Okay.
Hello everyone. In this demo, we are going to present the creation of a Python web application in Microsoft Azure. Microsoft web applications are highly scalable, self-patching, and it also provides us to develop our local application, the portal, Azure portal, that is portal dot azure.com. So, then we need to give our login credentials over here. So, here we need to give our username and password, right.
So, Subhobroto is already having a login. So, he is using his own login, otherwise you need to create your own create your new login here.
Right, it is redirecting me to that Microsoft account sign in page. There I need to provide the password, right. Okay. Okay. So, now we will be seeing the dashboard, right. This is the dashboard for Microsoft Azure. So, now we need to launch terminal, that is Azure terminal. So, that is this one, the Cloud Shell. Right. So, that has been completed. Now, it is connecting terminal. Right. Okay. So, now we need to do a local development of this Python web application. So, for that I will be downloading a existing project from Git. So, the command for that is git clone https://github.com. So, here we have a demo for hello world. Right. So, it is cloning the project directory into my local machine. Revert it back. Now, we need to go to that project folder. So, as we can see, the project folder is this one. So, cd, right. So, here we have the contents. So, if I do cat of this main.python file, we can see
Hello world.
that hello world code has been written over here. Now, in order to do this running of this in order to run this application, we need Flask. Flask is a library which Python uses, and it provides us a framework, that is micro web framework in Python. So, I will be installing Flask. Now, I will be running this web application. Right, in the browser, if I write localhost 5000, so it is showing me hello world. Right. So, I will be pushing this project to our Microsoft Azure this portal, so that we can host our local project in Microsoft Azure. Now, in the Azure client, we need to set a deployment user. So, this deployment user is required for FTP and local Git deployment to a web application. So, the command for this is az web app deployment user set username. I need to give, this will create a deployment, right. So, deployment user has been created with this username and password. Now, we require a resource group. So, a resource group is a logical container into which Azure resources like web applications, databases and storage accounts are deployed and managed. So, the command for that is az group create and a name for the resource group, location, right. So, this will create a resource group.
So, you have to initiate a deployment user followed by a resource group. So, resource group is created now.
Right. Now, we require an app service plan. So, an app service plan specifies the location, app service plan specifies the location, size and features of the web server that hosts our application. Right. So, the command is az app service. This will create an app service plan. Right. Okay. Now, the web application generally provides a hosting space for our code and provides a URL to view the deployed app. Now, I will be creating an web application. The command is az web app create name right. So, now if I go to the web browser and type the web app name, followed by the .azure websites .net, I will be able to view the web page. So, that now as this code is Python based, we require to configure this Azure in order to use Python. So, I will be using a command this command will configure the corresponding Python version with this web application. So, the command is az web app config space set
Python.
So, setting the Python version this way uses a default container provided by this platform. Now, we need to configure local Git deployment. So, this app service supports several ways to deploy content to a web apps such as FTP, local Git, GitHub, Visual Studio Team Services, etc. For this demo, we will be deploying using local Git. That means, we will deploy by using the git command to push from our local repository to Azure repository. So, the command is az web app deployment right. So, we need to copy this URI and we need to go to terminal. I need to open another terminal. Git remote add
Azure
and
that URI.
For this, we need to issue this command git push Azure master right. So, here it will prompt us to give a password. So, the password should be the password which we have given during the creation of the deployment user. Right. Okay. So, this command is asking for the corresponding password. So, that is need to specify here that we are going now. This will push to the Azure remote to deploy our web application. So, it will take some time.
Then you will edit the application.
Right. So, it has deployed successfully. Now, we need to go to this that message hello world, right. Right. So, now I will do a small change to our local project folder. So, I will open that main.python file. He will do a change over here. I will change this message, let us say that is this one, welcome to the NPTEL course on cloud computing. Right. Okay. Now we need to comment these changes in our Git. So for that I will use git commit. So it has been able to update. Now we need to push the code changes to Microsoft Azure. Git push Azure master. Right. Again we need to give the password for the deployment user. So the app changes has been deployed successfully. Now we need to refresh this web page. So this will give me the message, welcome to the NPTEL course on cloud computing.
So as we can see that what Subrata has shown, that step by step procedure, he has used a local Git, right?
Yes.
For syncing with the Azure. So you can develop your own web app in and hosting those things in the Azure, right? So similarly, you can develop other apps also. So it's a again it's a just to give a feel of how a commercial cloud works, and as you can see that this sort of things, any type of PaaS type of platform like Azure will have somewhat similar characteristics, right? So with this, let us end our discussion today on a commercial cloud, that is Microsoft Azure. We'll continue with other things in the next lecture. Thank you.
Thank you.